All right, today we're tackling two sides of the very same coin. We're talking about thyroid extremes. We're going to dive deep into the absolutely wild, life or death difference between a thyroid storm and a myxedema coma.
So, let me ask you this. What happens when your body's engine, the thing controlling the speed of literally everything, either redlines and goes into total overdrive, or just shuts down completely?
Believe it or not, it all starts with this tiny butterfly-shaped gland right in your neck, the thyroid, and when it goes seriously wrong, it can trigger two completely opposite life-threatening emergencies. You've got a fiery storm of overactivity on one hand and a frozen, complete shutdown on the other.
Okay, so first things first. To really get these extremes, we've got to understand what the thyroid actually does. The best way to think about it? It's the body's master switch.
Yeah, so the thyroid is basically your body's master thermostat, or maybe even the engine control unit in a car. It pumps out these hormones that control the speed of everything. We're talking heart rate, metabolism, even your body temperature. It literally sets the pace for your entire system.
But what happens when that system gets cranked all the way up to 11 and just goes into total hyperdrive? Well, that brings us to our first extreme, the thyroid storm.
So, what could possibly push the body into such a dangerous state? Well, the triggers are usually some kind of major stressor. Think a really bad infection, a major surgery, or some kind of significant physical trauma. Any of these can be the catalyst that just floods your system with thyroid hormone.
And the symptoms, they're exactly what you'd imagine from a system in complete overdrive. The body is literally overheating. You get a high fever, blood pressure shoots through the roof, you're sweating like crazy, and your heart rate is just racing, totally out of control.
And it's not just a physical thing. The mind is racing right along with it. All that internal chaos shows up as severe agitation, sometimes even delirium and confusion, plus these uncontrollable tremors. Your entire nervous system is firing on all cylinders nonstop.
So here's the bottom line, the core of it all. A thyroid storm is an incredibly dangerous, life-threatening condition, and it's all because of these extreme spikes in the main thyroid hormones, T4 and T3. The body is just drowning in them, pushing every single system way past its breaking point.
Okay, so how do you stop something like that? Well, treating it requires a super fast, multi-pronged attack. Doctors will hit it with beta blockers to get that racing heart under control, then use special drugs like PTU to stop the thyroid from making any more hormone. They'll use iodine to block the release of what's already stored up, and finally steroids to help calm the whole body's over-the-top response.
All right, let's just take a deep breath and do a complete 180. We're going to look at the polar opposite now, myxedema coma. This is what happens when that same system just grinds to a halt.
Now, the triggers here can also be stressors, but they push the body in the complete opposite direction. We're talking about things like being exposed to the cold for too long, a bad infection, or a big medical event like a stroke. Any of these can cause an already underactive thyroid to just finally give up and fail completely.
And the symptoms? Well, they're almost chillingly slow. You see severe hypothermia, where the body's temperature just plummets. Blood pressure drops to dangerously low levels. The heart rate slows way, way down. That's what we call bradycardia. Even your breathing slows. The body is, piece by piece, systematically shutting itself down.
So if the storm was all about having way too much of a good thing, myxedema coma is all about a critical absence. It's a life-threatening state that happens because of a severe, dangerous drop in those same T4 and T3 hormones. The body's engine is basically just run out of gas.
So naturally, the treatment is all about one thing: restarting that engine. This means pumping IV thyroid hormone directly into the bloodstream. It means using IV hydrocortisone to help support the body's stress response. And it means giving tons of supportive care to manage everything else: breathing, temperature, blood pressure, until the engine can start running on its own again.
All right, let's put these two crises side by side, because this is where the massive contrast between them becomes crystal clear.
Look at this. In a thyroid storm, the heart is just going nuts. A frantic, dangerously fast rhythm. The whole system is redlining, literally burning itself out.
And then you have myxedema coma, the complete opposite. The heart rate is alarmingly, dangerously slow, the system isn't burning out, it's on the verge of just stopping.
I mean, look at this. The differences are just black and white. Thyroid storm, you've got a high fever. Myxedema coma, you're freezing with low body temp. You've got a fast heart rate versus a slow one. High blood pressure versus low. And it all circles back to one thing:
The hormones. A massive elevation in a storm versus a massive drop in a coma.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? What's the point? Well, it really all comes down to one crucial thing: balance.
These two insane extremes are just a perfect illustration of how critical the thyroid's job is. Its whole purpose is to maintain our body's delicate equilibrium. That state scientists call homeostasis. It's that perfect, life-sustaining sweet spot where nothing is too fast and nothing is too slow.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Our body's balance is this constant, super delicate dance that's happening every single moment, and we're not even aware of it. So it makes you wonder, right? What does that tell us about all the other hidden, complex systems working tirelessly every single second just to keep us alive?